Oh, two in a row, baby. Two in a row. We did it. We did it. 5-star on top. Boom. Oh boy. Welcome everybody to the Fresh from Florida's 250 post race review. I am your host. Morgan Sones. This is brought to you by, of course, MRN on SCRL. What a race, baby! Woo! If I had 5-star merchandise, I'd be like hitting it like that. Like, oh man. Anyways, so the D3 Daytona race was today. This is the first race with the trucks. Um, since what since season three. Like season three was the last time we did the charts, and then of course we switched over to the uh the ARCA cars for like the last season. So we have that going on for us. Um, so let's just talk about the race. Well, not more really talk. Let's just go throw through some stuff going on. Let me go bring up a clip of the finish real quick. I have that. Can I download it? Oh, Mr. Roblox clip. I would love to download it. I guess I can just share my screen. Hold on. Let me just make a window capture real quick. Metal. There we go. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So let's talk about this finish first. Okay. So you see here the 11 and the 2 side by side coming into turn 4, on into the backstretch. They're beating him, banging him. The 11 goes up into him, trying to keep that draft. The 31 is coming straight up behind, so he's trying to get that position too. They're all battling. The 11 doors the 2 into the wall and coming to the line. Watch that. Like, oh, let's watch it back. Oh, what if that was gonna be all? We all knew this was gonna be a photo finish. We all knew it was gonna be a photo finish, like from the get go. That was insane. But the sad, once again, a 5-star car crossed the line first, but they didn't get the win. So penalty. So while I talk about that, let me bring up the results. So here are the results for today's race. Um, yeah. So Nivik got the win there. Now, from looking at the thumbnail, you might be like Bushwhack Central. Then like the arrow pointing at the 11 was the only like full-time D3 driver there. So how we do the rules, um, how we do the rules is the basically like if you're not a full-time D3 driver, you're not getting your like points at all unless you're like a sub, and I think it's like half points. That's what Blimp told me. So yeah, the only sub there was the 46 of Byron. He's getting like half points. So the only two people that got points today was the 11, the 46. I think Mango might have gotten points. Maybe No Per got points. I don't. That's something for later. But yeah. So that's your finish. So you might be noticing, well, hey, the 11 crossed the line first. Why didn't he get the position? Um, that's something for a little later. That we will be discussing. Actually, not a little later because they're gonna join us in just a bit. Before they do that, I want to see if there's any news that I want to talk about. This person is I want to have this person on the show for like a long time, so I have to get through this quickly, see if anything happened. Um, the results are as they are. Again, they I kind of had to wing it with them, especially like third place on down. Well, fourth on down, I had to kind of wing it. I didn't really know a lot who was where, who was because nobody clipped the finish because the finish was controversial. Let's see here. Oh, I never got to say this. Okay, so some just gonna key takeaway from this. Soaring got banned like midway through this race. It was it was hilarious. I won't. Hold on. Let me see what if I could say what he had. Okay, so Soren kind of got banned like almost instantly. He said something I don't know, and then he like got banned instantly. So that was hilarious. So yeah, he will have a sub for tomorrow. What's it called? So yeah, he'll have a sub for the duels tomorrow. Um, I don't know if I can make it to the duels tomorrow because I have a band concert tomorrow. So I don't even know if I'm gonna make the duels. So I'll probably have a sub. Goddard won't make it. I don't think he has a sub. I think Bloom tried to get him a sub, but he couldn't. Um, and yeah, like expect a lot of part-time cars for Daytona, as far as I heard. So yeah, keep an eye out on that. Any more news comes out. I did promise you guys I was gonna post the results for the D2 Daytona race, and I didn't. It's not my league. It's not. I don't officiate D2. They got their own problems going on. Oh, and one more thing. We D3 will have a new developer. Shout out to Hex. Oh, let me see. I can't see your full username. Hex, driver of D20 for Solution Motorsports. He will be deving for D3. Thank you, Hex. Okay, now here's what we've all been waiting for. The let me just get this over here. All right, so joining. Oh, wait, hold on. I hate when it does this. Joining us in joining us here today, somebody I've really wanted to meet somebody to be on the show for like a long time. It finally happened. Everybody, please welcome Anubis to the Murder on Track. Hello, Anubis. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing pretty good. It's a pleasure being on the show finally. I know we were trying to get a couple of it, since I think it was the championship race or during the off
Yeah,
season we were going to try and do it, but we never got a chance to do it. But
yeah,
I'm glad we finally got to do it today.
yep. So this race, just really insane. The all around. Tell me what happened during. Well, I was there too
Oh
because
yeah, so
you're.
it really starts at the start of stage one because that is where we saw sort of the first big thing that I think took part was fuel strategy because we had this middle of stage one. There was like 8 laps to go, and Soren pulls it into pits for a fuel stop. And what we notice is when he comes out, everybody else pits a couple laps later, and he jumps from the pit all the way up to first. He doesn't obviously keep the lead at the end of stage one, but he got the track position. So we saw that fuel was going to play a part of the race. And that was the one thing that we learned at the start. But also, people were very good at drafting and tandeming with each other, which is something that lower division drivers usually don't see,
Yeah,
especially in SCRL.
yeah,
You do have a little bit of a wrecking problem.
yeah. Especially for the D2 race on
Oh yeah,
Monday or Tuesday, whatever. It was
yeah.
definitely a lot cleaner. It was not. It was kind of boring, but it was more cleaner, and I think that produced a better racing product than D2. No overtime finish too. We didn't get an overtime finish.
No. But we
Almost did.
did sort of have that one. I think it was the caution with like 6 to go and
Yeah, that
at the
caution.
end where with no pro and all that. But
Yeah, so so during the race, we were testing out this new officiating system where we had two guys in the separate like voice chat, and then we had me and Nuke in like the race control. And
right.
there was a little bit of a miscommunication where Comrade and Obozo called a caution because they thought No Pro was like he was out of fuel when he just hit pit limiter. So he was kind of going slow around the track. So then that kind of got Nuke confused. And once you get Nuke confused, he kind of just like goes a little schizo, and he basically threw the caution. And so
Right.
we spent like 4 laps racing while there was yellow until like Nuke came on the mic and said, "No, it's a caution. Call the caution." So we had that little confusion there. That brought in pit stops. I think it was about to be a green flag pit stop until then. I think everybody was just staying out because they were confused. They didn't know if it was actually caution or not, so they were going to pit that upcoming lap. Or I think they had come out of pit road. I think Matthew was the only one who didn't pit, so he was saved
Yeah,
by that caution.
yeah, yeah, he definitely was. Because we saw it, and I mentioned the soaring thing. Nivik did the exact same thing and came up to second
Yeah,
before
yeah,
that caution came out. And I think that was one of the races that you really saw, and unlike D2, you really saw a lot of fuel strategy. And I think that sort of helps with when it comes to racing like that is fuel strategy, especially on drafting tracks. You need to try to save a little bit more because you have a longer distance to go, and you really need to start saving. And we saw a lot of that.
yeah. It was definitely more like technical than D2 was.
Right.
Um, Speaking on that note, there will be fuel with that I mentioned earlier before the Nubis came on that we were going to have a dedicated developer for D3, and he will be adding fuel and tire wear, which is something we don't usually get tire wear in SCRL, so it's gonna be interesting how these guys handle that. But
Hmm.
what else is there to talk about? We talked
Well,
about the caution.
yep. And well, I think some of the notable storylines, obviously going in, is obvious. You had a whole bunch of bushwhackers, but we can talk about that one D3 guy, Ghost. He was almost the star of the field almost the entire race. He was always up in the front, and he was always competing at the end of the stages, except for the first stage, which unfortunately he had that speeding penalty. But
Yeah,
he was up near the front most of that race, which is commendable for a D3 driver who is amongst all these, D2 part timers and D1 part time entries for that race. He performed under the pressure of having more experienced guys, in the field with them.
yeah, definitely. And this is his first start, I believe, in SCRL. He is
Yep.
brothers with Lucas. If you know Lucas, he was that one
Oh,
guy from that
okay. Yeah.
just more from
Yeah,
uh,
the
audience. If you don't,
domination at
yeah,
Richmond D2,
yeah,
yes.
Anubis knows him well. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
brother, it's a little weird having to like race
Mhm.
your brother in like row racing, like.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're brothers. Ghost has first race. Now let's talk about. I'll talk about the little incident that happened. So when I said earlier when I was showing the clip of the finish, some people who weren't there at the race might be like, oh well, why did the 11 get the win? Is it just rigged against 5-star drivers? Well, I wish it was, but there was a penalty involved with Ghost. It's something that was not allowed to be said.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Uh, I'm not going to say it, but it is something that we have in SCRL have banned it before. I think. Oh crap! I forgot that I'm sharing. It is something that we have banned before in SCRL, and
Yep.
I'm not gonna say it. If you know, you know. But yeah,
Mhm.
that caused him a 1 race suspension, so he will not be at St. Petersburg.
Also, no problem.
Um,
So in the chat, it looks like No Pro did say he was full time as well. So No
Okay.
Pro in that 51 was actually
I
full time
knew it. I
again.
knew it. That's why I was saying during the race control, I was telling the Bloom, like, I think Nopro's like the only other full time guy besides him, so they're just battling to get the win.
Yeah,
So yeah, Nopro's like the only guy. So I guess Nopro would get like second place points.
yeah.
Uh, I have to
But
go fix that.
that can also be a sort of segue because I wanted to sort of talk about him because he was there at the time and he was probably, in one my opinion, one of the more unlucky drivers where he was always in the hornet's nest of the drivers that when there were incidents he was on usually on the bad end of that stick and he usually fell back, which is a shame for, obviously when you're full time you're getting pushed around and moved out of the way by the part timers. It just feels sort of, you know, get sort of makes you feel disheartened. But he kept plugging along, and he still ended up finishing the race. Couldn't say the same for I think there was another driver who
Yeah,
parked in mid
Mango.
race
Yeah,
or
yeah.
one,
Who was it? It was yeah. Soren got banned.
and then
Mango,
the
Mango, which
yeah,
is another, which is Nopro's driver, accomplished
yeah,
motorsports in the 18. He like, I don't know if he actually finished the race. He said he was gonna like park it.
no,
But yeah,
no,
he
I don't think he did.
got wrecked at the end there.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, no. So I guess only two D3 guys were actually there. Hopefully, we'll have more. I think it's just because we kind of bumped the
yeah.
race up 30 minutes, so not a lot of
Uh,
people could show. But
yeah, that and it's also a Thursday.
yeah,
You still got school going on for some of these drivers that you already know that some of them can't make it. So
yeah, that's like the biggest problem in road racing history. But
that's life for you.
yeah. Uh, so yeah, we talked about we talked about. I had to finish it with the 11. So Ghost got so just to make everything clear for everybody, Ghost still gets the 40 points. He doesn't get any stage points. We took away his stage points. Um, Still locked in. So whatever points post race season we have, he's still locked into that. He just didn't get the win. They both got to do burnouts. Unfortunately, that's like the last hope what tomorrow what at Daytona like so Driz is gonna win and then it's gonna be like oh you both win or like whoever gets second wins or just hypothetical but I really hope it doesn't happen. A 5-star sweep the Daytona weekend or Daytona week, but yep. Speaking of dates the 500, Anubis, you're going to be racing the 500 for
Yeah.
a team called Five Star. How are you gonna, how are you know, getting yourself ready for tomorrow, the duels tomorrow, and the 500?
Eh, more as it's more just prepare mentally because the duels are just one thing, but the Daytona 500 is a different thing. So you need to sort of prepare not for sort of two separate ordeals. You have the Daytona qualifying and duels, and then once you get through that, and then you can start saying, okay, now let's start preparing for the 500. Because if you're focusing on both at the same time, you'll if you're trying to multi focus on that, then when it comes to like the duels and stuff, you may accidentally make a couple slip ups that cost you, either qualifying spot or even in qualifying you don't get the line and you
Missed the race,
get
yeah.
booted out. You don't make the cut. So there's a little bit of that, but then there's also a little bit of the what if factors of like you know pit strategies in the duels and stuff like that if a caution does come out. But besides that, you just sort of have to take it one day at a time, not, focus qualifying in duels. And then once you get through that, reset and get ready for the 500.
All right. I'll leave you with this one final question right here. This is like something I've read the like IRL drivers think of. What is your thing? Because this is road racing. Road racing is completely different. You could be in like 12 different leagues. These guys like the guys are like there's only one NASCAR real life. You can have like 15 NASCARs in like a road race in your road racing career. Do you consider a Daytona 500 win to be like bigger than a championship win?
Good question. Since I can attest that I have done both. I do have both of those under my belt, but I can't say that you know the crown jewels are always going to mean something, even if even though at the end of it all, championship, and also like you said, there are multiple NASCAR leagues. But you know what I like to think of is every league is sort of like a different series, and you just think that each series has its Daytona 500, and it means more to that one league specifically than you know the other
Yeah,
league that you post that you put it in your bio of your driver sign up like, oh yeah, I have a Daytona 500 win in this league, you know.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty
But you
sure
want to
like
win the Daytona in that league because then you could say that you did it in two different, because you could have two different Daytona 500s
yeah,
in two different leagues, two different setups where they're both sort of a different sort of driving style that you've wanted both versions of that Daytona 500, which really shows more of a versatility in how the draft setups are and also just the overall car setups. So, I sort of think of each of them as their own special crown jewel, and then the championship is just something that comes with if you win it, you came with that and also have that Daytona 500 as well.
yeah. I also going on like the bio thing you said. I'm pretty sure like everybody's done it. I'm pretty sure some everybody's like lied a little bit on their bio. Like I used to put on my I used to put on my bio on like Instagram and Discord about my row racing stats that like I had a what's it called? I had a Martinsville win, which I don't.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do. I just did that because I thought Martinsville. Okay, well Martinsville's kind of like a hard track, and like when people, I thought like I was thinking like, oh, when people ask me about that, I'll just say, oh yeah, I don't know. Everyone was like wall riding that entire race, and it just kind of gave me the win because I was the only one that wasn't wall riding. So we've all lied in our bio about our row racing stats, but
Yeah.
I have not because what the three Daytona. I don't think I have my stats on there anymore, but yeah,
I
no,
can
I
safely say that I have not done that
okay. Um,
because I don't race that much, so it's just like one of those things that it never really came to me that really putting extra stuff in there. I just what I usually did, what I did. I'll let you finish your thing in a sec, but what I did is I put my outside of Roblox stuff because I was really into road course sims and stuff for
yeah,
like road cars and stuff. So that's what I put in my bio because it's, hey, I have this experience outside of Roblox that I sort of put, try to use to help me guide myself through road racing.
yeah. Well, I forgot what I was gonna say. I've like on my opinion on like that Daytona thing, I would agree. I think it like more emphasis on like that league instead of like like all your thing. Like Daytona's not a hard track. Like I feel like like Daytona's probably the most raced track. Like the 500 alone is just the most raced event in like all of road racing because you can like it's like the beginning of the season. You can't really start your season without the 500. Um, there's some leagues that I know that don't start the 500. Don't start with the 500. I'm mostly thinking of like Rara, uh, but they don't really exist anymore, so they don't really count. But I think it really kind of, for me at least, the 500's always kind of been a little special because it was like my, one of my five Daytona 500 wins was my dad was like sitting right next to me, not in this room here, but it was like but he was there, so that's what makes it special for me. And it was also like 5 stars first win, like as like a whole thing.
Right.
So that's why it's always been special to me like that. And then it was like a
Mhm.
span in like early this year where I just won like 3 straight 500s. So that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah. My
Ro-
my 500 was very very I was have 500, like the only 500 that I have is one that I won't forget because it was down to the line by literally thousands of a second. It was almost like that Chris Buescher Kyle Larson race from
Mm,
2024 at Kansas. They were that he was I was that close from either winning or losing, and I ended up getting on that losing on the winning side of that. So,
yeah.
but it also opened my eyes. That it's just like very, you know, that I can go to the five, the, but also it was also one of those things where I don't remember what month it was. I think it was near summer or so, and
Mm,
it was getting close to my. I think it was getting close to my grandmother's birthday. So, after I, you know, comprehend that I wanted, it's like it was one of those things where it's like it was just one of those things. It's like, yeah, I think I should credit this to my grandmother for even though if she didn't even hear me talk about it or anything, but
yeah.
it's just one of those things where I was just thinking about her that exact same day. It's like, yeah, it just felt like it meant a little bit more, even though it is the 500, but
Yeah. Thank you, Charles. Charles says in the chat, you're giving us W promos with this conversation. Keep it up. Got you, Charles. That's what I do here. I'm the media guy.
not the
So I
booth
think,
person.
yeah, I think that probably will wrap it up for tonight. I guess I can talk about the schedule. Well, I have to say goodbye. We got to say goodbye to Anubis because I have to look at the rest of Discord. So thank you, Anubis, for joining us. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. On
Oh
this,
yeah,
there is. I still want to use your stats for what's it called? I still want to use your stats that you made for that
hmm
stream that never came to be, the episode that never came
oh
to be. But
yeah, yeah.
that might that might happen tomorrow after the duels. I'm not going to be at the duels because I'm going to have to, what's it called? I have a band concert. I will not be there, but we'll figure something out. Thank you, Nevis, for joining us, and
Thank
we'll see you. We'll see you. I'll see you on the track. You better be at Daytona.
you. Don't worry, I will. But yeah. Once again, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And I do want to say one more thing that I can't wait for more commentating portions in D2, D3 because I think that is something that I really like doing is commentating. So if you guys watch the SCRL D2, D3 races, just know that you'll have me as the booth person.
Yes. We'll have some good. We'll have somebody good this time. Not me. It's not me. Anubis made that amazing call during the Homestead race. For the finale, and I kind of fucked it up because I had the camera on Comrade because I thought Comrade was gonna win, so I had to go real quick. So I was like, I'll just leave the camera on Comrade. He's gonna win, and then he just kind of just like wrecked. So all right, thank you, Anubis. See you.
Thank you.
All right, now let me just switch over to this side. I hate when it does this. It's like okay, there we go. So that's pretty much it for today. Let me just look at the schedule, see what's coming up for you guys, the viewer. Well, I guess most of you guys are like SCRL drivers. Let's have a look at here. Okay, so tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern will be the Daytona 500 qualifying and duels. I don't know exactly how long that's going to take. It really just depends. What? All right, let's. And then Saturday will be the 500 itself at what time would that be Eastern? 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. We'll be at 7:30 for the 500 p.m. So it'll be a night. It'll be at night. Um, I will probably be racing. I definitely won't be at the duels. I don't know who's gonna be streaming the duels. I think Trell has that. Well, not Trell. Fuck. Who will be streaming that? We're kind of cooked here because all of our streamers are like racing. Oh, Brody, I forgot Brody. I still have to teach Brody all that stuff. Crap. yeah, we're gonna have Brody. If you don't remember him, he was supposed to be streaming. He was. I think he might have been in the booth today for the race. I saw him in the game. I have to teach him that, or if not, Trell, if you're watching, just teach Brody how to do your stream thing. I honestly just rather him out with stuff. I don't care if he has the MRN stuff. Just teach him how to stream so we can have somebody to stream. Or Nash. But yeah, if I don't end up making the duels or I end up getting eliminated or whatever, and I cannot race the 500, I will be streaming. That'll probably be the last race I stream, unless SHR something happens where I get fired or something. In that case, I'll just go to full time streaming and focusing on D3. Uh, but hopefully that won't happen. So, but yeah, that's our schedule. Next race won't be until after the 500. Next race won't be until the Friday, the 21st of November on a Friday. We at 6 p.m. will be Iowa qualifying, and then we'll be doing for the Cup Series, and then we'll be doing the what's it called? We'll be doing the D2 race out for Iowa after that. And then on that Saturday, we'll be doing St. Petersburg. Tune in for that because that's going to be that's going to be Hex Debbie for that. I'm really excited for. If you if you can't tell already, I'm really excited for Hex to be Debbie. He's like the best. He's like the next best Soren. I haven't really seen him dev, but if he's friends with Soren, I know it's probably going to be good. And I saw his like I think he's making the Daytona game. I don't know. He was like a part of that, so we'll have to see though. I'm really excited. D3 is I'm really excited for D3. If you aren't really tell, kind of built this up. Well, not by myself. Credit to like everybody who's helped me. But yeah, no D3. I'm really excited for it. I hope it's better than D1, and I hope it's bigger than D1. But yeah, I think I'll end it here. Let me, just make sure. See, do what that guy's doing right there. Do what that guy does right there in that little thing. Okay, where are you? Come back. I love this. I keep on thinking. I keep on like trying to like do it for every video, but I keep on forgetting about it. Anyways, that'll wrap it up for today. I have been Morgan from MRN Murder on Track. I might upload tomorrow. I don't know, but definitely expect a lot for the 500. I'll definitely try to do as much as I can. That'll be it. See you guys. Thanks for watching.